that's kind of
No, yeah.
cool.
For me, it was for when I was in high school. Hey, what up, chat? We're talking about video games back when we were in high school. For me, kind of the connecting thing was I played football, but I stopped. Anthony, my older brother, still played football, so I was friends with a bunch of people. But for us in high school, everyone played video games. Everyone played Halo, and when I say everyone, I mean dudes.
Yeah,
It wasn't like nowadays where chicks played games. Like that never existed when we were in high school. You would die a virgin if you played video games when we were in high school. But for me, it was like it didn't matter if you were punk or drama, football, band nerd. It didn't matter if you played Halo. Like you would go to the same parties if there was Halo there, just to play Halo.
my junior high days consisted of GoldenEye, Tim.
Yeah,
Like that's what was popular
No.
for us. It was like N64.
no,
And
for us it was
then-
definitely Halo 2 and 3.
Yeah, man, Halo, you played only at somebody's house. It was how Halo was played when I was in high school. As
Yeah.
if we went to someone's house and it was like they had multiple controllers and everyone would just kind of hop on.
I mean, we would bring it up, or we would have
When did Xbox Live even fucking come out? I don't even think Xbox Live was a thing.
like
When I was in high school.
2003.
Yeah, Xbox Live came out when I was graduating.
2002. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. No, we would do the whole like everyone would bring their own TVs, and at the time that was like before like convenient flat screen, so people would bring in like two
bring in
TVs
CRTs and shit.
Yeah, and
We used to do it for Counter-Strike. That's how we used
would
to
fucking
LAN.
set
was
it
we'd
up,
have our
yeah,
fucking
yep.
CRTs all together.
Same thing for our Counter-Strike lands. Counter-Strike we had, but it was a smaller group. Like we probably had like 6 people to play Counter-Strike, 5 or 6, so we at least could get a team. Halo, we would literally have 16 people at my house where we'd had, just constantly running games and flipping through it. And
Yeah, like see, our lands were Command and Conquer, Age of Empires. Like those were the games
Yeah.
that were out then,
StarCraft was a little bit, but not so much.
StarCraft we played in high school with Tom and his dad. As we would land at their house. They had 4 computers set up in their own home. It was really fucking cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, you ready to do this?
Yep. If you see me get up in the middle for a brief second, I'm getting the door for the food.
Yep. Welcome, what is up, to episode 394 of the Center Ring Esports podcast, and this is going to be the best episode ever because we have a loaded yikes of the week with some good old yikes to get to, as well as the VCT Masters Copenhagen wrapped up. So we'll talk to you about that and everything you need to know there, as well as a good dude of the week. And of course, E-News, where we wrap everything up that you need to know from the week. That is esports and news, hence the name E-News. But before we get to that, I got to tell you about the show sponsor. This week, the show is sponsored by your mom. So tell her she's a nice lady for us, and thanks.
Hey, my name is Launders, and you're listening to TCR.
Okay, so let's start.
Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome. Welcome back to another edition of The Center Ring, a.k.a. TCR, a.k.a. your favorite esports podcast, coming to you live and or pre-recorded from an undisclosed location. The date is 7/25/22. The time is 9:15 p.m. Go ahead and follow us on Twitter at The Center Ring. Our Discord is in the link of the Twitter account. Join the conversation, play games with us, all that fun stuff. Whatever you're listening to us on, go ahead and leave us a like, subscribe, a review, whatever you want. We got 6 episodes left. You leave us a nice comment. Let us know how we changed your life. I'm sure we did. So go ahead and do that. Be always appreciated. And, who knows? Like I said, we are going till episode 400 until we're taking a break. Maybe we come back stronger than ever. Like a phoenix from the ashes. You never know how this story arc will go on. So, Marvel, Anuj, little backstory. Marvel almost declared bankruptcy at one point in time. Did you know that? Now look at them.
How sad would that have been?
Now look at them.
How many movies would we have missed out on?
Bought by Disney, and now you can't look a single direction without seeing something Marvel related. So maybe we're Marvel 2.0. I don't know. Maybe. But my name is Tim. I will be your captain for this journey into esports, and alongside me, as always, is my best friend, my brown friend. It's Anuj. What's up?
Your hockey partner in crime friend. Yeah, dude, doing good, man. This 2-show a week thing's got me a little extra juice going into the week,
Oh man, it does though, right? Like,
yeah.
It's weird that we're only we got 6 episodes left, and then we're taking a break. But I almost feel like I got a second wind. I'm like, 2 episodes a week. We can talk more news. We can BS more.
Like it doesn't have to be like a full show of just getting out last week's news.
Yeah, we just got to get everything out. It's, hey, we can dick around a little bit and have some fun with it again. No, I agree. It's kind of a bummer. I was thinking this week too, and I was just thinking to myself just how it is. The closer we get to 400, the more bittersweet it is. Like I'm excited because it's like I don't have to pay attention to esports nearly as much as I do now. Which, I won't lie to you or the listener. Once we've announced that we're done at 400, it hasn't been much that I've been pretty much paying attention to what I want to pay attention to.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's been. It's like I've been watching the stuff that I just kind of want to watch right now. And,
right.
So
I'm kind of
also playing catch up on.
I'm kind of excited for that, but I'm also super bitter that it is that we are. Not that we have to take a break, but just where life has led us to where we both kind of agreed, what, maybe we should take a break and,
we'll talk about this here in a moment, but you and I are also trying to be a little bit more active in life and in the sense of we're behind the computer a lot when it comes to work. And then it comes to our hobby is primarily gaming. And then we have the show, right? Which also requires time. And so a lot of time is spent sitting here. And so it is, I am excited for the other things that I'm, hopefully going to be doing with that time, and
honestly, time, you could put in twice as much time. And I guess, this will save it for episode 400 because 400 will basically just be us talking about the show and what, retrospective of the show, I'm sure. But, back when we used to go hard, man, you wouldn't even see me on games very much because it'd be every night me doing something behind the scenes on the show. And I just kind of lost time of that. I just don't, God bless.
Pre-COVID for sure.
Yeah, oh yeah. Pre-COVID, pre-2 kids, God bless the people, the content creators who just have the time to do it, because there's a reason you don't see content creators with families and full-time jobs and, it takes time. There is no simpler formula than that. So, time which 2 boomers just don't have as much of. It's really what it boils down to. Unless you have money, right? Time is money. If you want to give us money, then we'll find the time. But, I digress. But no, yeah, you mentioned it, Hockey Buddy. I'm glad. Last week I updated you on my hockey venture, getting back into it. So you joined me this weekend. We went and played some roller hockey, just the 2 of us at the outdoor rink near me for a little bit before, I mentioned that my skate was falling apart. I
didn't realize the condition.
So it was not as I went more and more.
I saw it when you first started. You showed me just the little hole,
yeah.
Right? You could kind of see a part of your sock through the boot. You already kind of knew this is where this is headed. Right?
Yeah,
it's not going to get better. It's not going to fix itself. It's not like a Wolverine.
I didn't know it was going to get as bad though as it did. Literally,
as bad as fast as it did. It took about 10 minutes.
Like within 10 minutes, I'm like, man, my feet are feeling loose right now. And then I look down and it's just both skates have cracks all in the toe cap, which is pretty much what holds the boot together.
Yeah.
And I just tapped it with my stick and just shatters. I was like, oh. And then there's my feet. There's my toes hanging out of the skate.
But we still managed to stay out there for a little over an hour. You had to go throw your sandals on, and we just kind of like passed around, shot around. You know what? I really enjoyed that. And I'll tell you, I was kind of sweating bullets before I got out there, because you told me your incident in the garage, and you talked about it on the show last week. So I was a little nervous. Like, I was like, oh gosh, like I better be careful. I'm 37. I don't want to fall. I put the shoes on, the skates on at home, and I was like, okay, this already feels a little weird to be in skates again. I got out there, and I got to say, it felt pretty good. Like, I started to feel not natural, because I still had to pay more attention than I probably ever had playing, but it felt good to like skate around. I'm really glad you mentioned it. I'm really, really glad that I went out and did it with you. And, I hope we keep doing that, because that was a good time. And, if anything, it's exercise, but it was a fun way to get out there and just kind of pick up the stick again.
This weekend, I'm going to go and get new skates, I think, ASAP. I got to get new skates ASAP. So
if we take too long, we
won't do it. Right. I got to strike when the iron's hot, because, I definitely want to do it. Plus, like, I got to get in there while I still am somewhat getting back to it, because you're right. Like, the muscle, like you and I, fun fact for people who don't know, like a new random fact about Nuge and I is we both played hockey, which is like one of the strangest in Texas, one of the most strange, random. Our backstory on how we began our friendship is wild, but that's for another episode.
Maybe we'll bring that up in 400.
Maybe. But my muscle memory, and you even saw me do it sometimes, where it's like my muscle memory is like, oh, I know how to play hockey. And so it's like I would try to skate hard and then like do a turn, and then I'm like, oh, ankles don't do what they used to do. And I almost bit it like a few times. I'm like, okay, all right, we need to slow this down a bit.
And I'm also like, I was so used to using my skate to control the puck in certain situations,
Yeah.
And it was like my foot naturally wanted to go do something. I'm like, oh, better be a little careful on this movement here, because like one slip up and it's like
you're done.
I'm biting the dust.
Dunzo. No. So it's always good to get back into old things that require some physicalness.
I'm gonna get you to do this with me coming up. Like, me and one of my friends, we're going soccer golf.
I don't know what that is. You said it before we went live, and I was like, sure, yeah, soccer golf.
So it's a golf course that's converted into, the hole is big enough for a soccer ball.
Oh,
so
I'm looking at pictures.
You tee off at a normal like golf, it's like a golf course. It's like an 18-hole golf course. I think they only do like 9 holes for most of these places, but it's a golf course. It tells you what par it is, par 3, 4, 5, whatever, how many shots you have to make it in, and you play it like golf. Like, I'm looking at pictures. Golf, but you with a soccer ball.
Okay, this golf I can get into. Not that I look, I still want to go.
You gotta be able to kick a ball and like kick it with some direction. Like, that's, if you obviously if you play soccer, which you have.
I used to play soccer. Okay. All these things that require any physicalness, just know I used to do it. Like, oh yeah, I played soccer.
Look at this. This is the new bad boy.
Asterisk 15 years ago. Yeah,
I'm very excited. I haven't bought a new soccer ball in a long time. I showed you my cleats earlier, so I'm excited to like
we're gonna have to go
of these things, and
we're gonna have to go to Bear Creek Park and practice. Just kicking the ball.
I mean, like I said, if you can kick the ball, I think soccer golf is nice because it can be played, by people that have played soccer for a long time, and they could probably do well, but a casual could completely come out there and enjoy the heck out of it.
Right.
Like you're kicking a ball in a pretty general
I was going to say, like, it's such simple for men, right? You just go and kick a ball. That's all you want to do.
The Rocket League of soccer. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody can play it. Some people will be really good at it, but anybody can play it and enjoy it, I think.
All right. That looks fun.
Yeah, so you see the pictures for it?
I Googled it. That looks great. looks, I'm totally down. Yeah, Wolf in chat says he's done soccer golf, so I'm totally down. Do you need cleats? Is that a thing for soccer golf? I assume it is.
Courses have different rules, so I have to check. Like some of them might not want you to wear cleats on the
tear
field.
it up, probably. I guess. Okay. All right. Well, I'm down either way. If you don't need cleats, all the better. One less thing I have to buy to.
Even if you're allowed to use cleats and you didn't have any, it's not like
but it's not gonna.
the end of the world.
That won't be the difference. It won't. It won't be like maybe I could have gotten a hole in one had I only wore cleats.
If I'd only had cleats on.
Had I only wore cleats. All right, let's get into the show though. We have a lot of yikes of the week here to get to. Almost like we skipped a week, but we didn't. First, did you want to go first?
Yeah, I mean, so there was an Apex Legends tournament going on, Tim. This is for not Pro League, okay? This is like a third-party host. I think it's like just a big streamer that was hosting the event, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, hosting an event. It's got some good players in there. They didn't have the rules 100% outlined, but one of the players found himself getting banned nonetheless. What was he doing, might you ask, Tim? A little case of teabagging. And the teabagging drama really kind of took off in Halo. I thought early on during Infinite, like I think, we saw a lot of talk around the teabagging conversation.
Yeah, I mean, look, as
Call of Duty a little bit
as
too.
As an individual who has been threatened with suspension, I have never been suspended for teabagging, but I have been threatened with being suspended for teabagging in that Overwatch No Fun League that I was in many years ago. We talked about at length on the show. It was during a preseason game. I was playing McCree, or whatever his name is now, and the most sickest double kill. I mean, just this Mercy popped up in the air with a fair combo. Pop, 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 pop. Just I didn't miss a single headshot. And so naturally,
you have to.
Naturally, I walked over, I shot their dead bodies, and I teabagged them. And then almost immediately got a DM in my Discord because it was being streamed saying like, yeah, don't.
This ruined the fun for you in the whole league.
That really set like the tone of like, okay, I know where this is going then. I know, because literally this was like, I was treating it like a beer league. Like, hey, I'm just playing with my boys, haven't played games in a while.
Yeah, like that's exactly how it should have been. And that's, I think, how it should have been in this league or in this tournament as well. Now, here's the thing, Tim. They banned this player. He teabagged someone, and I'll clarify that in a second. But he teabagged somebody. There weren't rules there, but the moderator of the tournament or whatever deemed that it was like unnecessary. And mind you, I don't even think it was like on the body. It was like on the player icon. Well, it turns out it was like his own teammates, I believe.
Yeah, no, it was. It was his own teammate that he teabagged, and it was part of like a joke with them.
I don't understand. Like, it's just an oversensitive person is what it sounds like to me, because this should be, look, if you watched MMA this weekend, that Irish guy, I don't know his name, but
Paddy the Baddy.
Yeah, Paddy the Baddy. There you go. He, talked about it before doing it, right? He talked about it in the match fight event.
He said if he wins, he's going to teabag him.
Referenced Call of Duty, like particularly in that. And it's not like not Joe Rogan, but Dana White walked up to him and was like, hey, dude, like, you can't talk about this. You can't do it. Premeditated. And then he wins by submission, sits there and teabags the guy right after, and it's like, they still shook hands right afterwards because I wanted to see if it would cause any issue with him doing it. But the dude got up, shook his hand, hugged it off, and walked away. And it's like, that's how it should be. It's not that big of a deal, right? It's like an end zone celebration. Think of it like anything else. A soccer player scores a goal and runs and slides and throws his arm up in the air. Like, it doesn't matter. It's like, if you take it personal, I feel like that's, own little sensitivity issue.
I don't want to live in a world where you can't teabag,
It just feels like it's just part of gaming, and it's moved into like real life instances now. But
so I have a yikes then that Here's Canada. Brought this up in chat. He goes, the admin dude realized it was a team member after someone pointed out in chat, and instead of being smart and backing off, they doubled down on his position. Of course he did, because God forbid anyone admits they were wrong, right?
Yeah. It's just unfortunate.
Yeah, no, it's all ridiculous. Well, I kind of have one then that is a perfect follow-up to that, because Riot suspends VCT Game Changers, which is the female VCT tournament. Dawn and Razora, that's how I'm going to say that name. Anuj, I know you're the big VCT Game Changer expert of the show. Did I say those names right?
Razora's spot on.
Okay. They banned them respectfully, I guess I should say suspended, 3 months and 9 months. Which,
for what?
Before what they did, to me in the world of esports, those are brutal. 9 months?
3 months is like a good ban. I feel like depending, as long as it's not match fixing, 3 months is not terrible.
Of course.
9 months is a really long time.
Especially in like the VCT world, you just suspended them for like your entire season.
Like your roster is going to replace you at that point.
Yeah, you're done. If you cannot partake in team activity for 9 months in esports, you might as you're done. You're getting cut.
You're off the team. No, 100%.
You're getting cut.
Valorant rosters in particular, we're seeing roster changes every 6 weeks, right? So 9 months, you're a free agent.
Right. So this is basically the reason they got banned. And this is where the teabagging comes into play. They got into a scuffle, as I will call it, online. So it started in some Discord, then went on Twitter. And this, I guess, got a little out of hand, and it broke Riot's public rules of like, yo, don't be an asshat in public, pretty much, is what it came down to. So from what I understand, now it's not like I wasn't following this live. Like I don't have my fingers on the pulse of the VCT Game Changer community. I'm sorry. From what I understand, Razora was saying that teabagging is sexual assault. And Dawn was saying, no, it's not. And now that basically escalated. Dawn was saying some stuff online, and then I think Dawn is a trans, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm following things correctly. So then, like, now they're upset because of some Riot did something where it, like, outed them, and now it's like all this drama has now started. Basically, from them arguing about is teabag sexual assault. And it's just now completely blown up.
I'm confused. I'm confused on why they were banned. Because they vocalized their fight online?
Yeah, because I guess it's just their fight got uglier than what Riot would want someone to represent their game being. Which
the one with the 9-month ban, do you have any of?
That's Razora, the one who was saying that it is sexual assault.
Yeah, but like, do you know? Okay, so that can't be the reason that she got 9 months.
No, I'm assuming, because the tweets were deleted, I'm assuming she probably brought something up. I mean, this is me spitballing in the ballpark here. I'm assuming she said something, though, related to something like trans, maybe? I don't know. My point here, though, and I've seen this go around, is, and this goes like to what you were saying with the Apex thing. Teabagging is a rite of passage in gaming. If I don't understand where we're getting to this point where I can't imagine a world where you're like, dude, I love gaming. I love playing with the boys. I love playing with the girls and shooting people and talking shit and having fun. And then you're like, whoa, bro, do not teabag someone, though. That's so offensive. That seems weird to me. Like, we're all gamers. We've all grown up in gaming culture where talking shit is just natural at this point for all of us. Like, we all are borderline immature for the rest of our lives because of it. I don't want to live in a world where you can't teabag someone. Now, on the flip side to that, though, Dawn, where she lost me, or they, I don't, whatever, where they lost me, Anuj, was she said, oh, aren't you like 31? Did they even have online gaming when you were in high school? And now I'm like, whoa.
Now we're getting personal.
Now you just attacked a fellow boomer gamer here.
I feel attacked.
Now I'm involved, right? Like you just brought up, I'm 32. Now you just insulted all boomer gamers. Let's not talk about
what our ages are. Let's just say that it feels like a personal attack.
Yeah, I felt like now I was just brought into this conversation. Now I have a dog in the fight.
I need to know what was said. Okay, I need to know, I need to understand how a 9-month ban comes into play. Like, clearly, I'm seeing all the stuff that I'm seeing is like not showing me the actual words. It's saying that she said some vulgar comments. I'm assuming it was towards the sexual orientation, just the fight stemming from teabagging is like doesn't matter. I don't think that's just how the fight ensued.
That's how it started, right? I think that's where it all
like clearly something was said toward that's still a surprisingly long ban. I'm not saying that you should be able to say like harassment and
right.
Like especially
but as we said, 9 months is
community, that's like you just can't do that.
9 months is a career killer.
9 months is a really, really long time. So I'm very I will, you know what? We're gonna do a follow-up on this, Tim, on Wednesday. We don't do Yikes on Wednesday. I want to follow up on this. I want to do my research. I want to figure out exactly what was said. And then let's decide if 9 months was fair or not. Because without the exact tweets, I'm kind of shocked. I mean, I'm actually shocked that a 9-month ban is a career killer. So it's got to be pretty bad. Like, it has to be. And if it's not, that would be a disappointing ruling, right? Like,
yeah.
Even if you had said something towards somebody's sexual orientation, gay, trans, like whatever the orientation,
right?
9 months is like a really long time. Like a 3-month ban, I still would have been like, wow, they took that very serious. Like 9 months almost feels like you're getting like the death sentence, right? So I would love to know.
I also I don't want to
between a 3-month ban that Dawn received and a 9-month ban that.
Yeah, see, that other person deleted their Twitter account, so it's just not even existent on as far as
it's out there.
It's got to be.
We'll be able to find it.
It just says vulgar speech, so I don't know.
I just need like 15 minutes of research time, and I'll be able to pull it.
I also don't want to lump every person in culture into one pool.
No, because again, one of them got a 3-month ban, so to me that would have been like a really good ban for somebody that took it too far. So I'm really curious what's the difference between what was said for a 3-month ban versus like a 9-month ban.
I do love this though. In Dawn's twit longer, she says the user eventually went to the Twitter herself to make a long thread doubling down on why she believes teabagging is sexual assault. I have friends that have literally been raped. I have watched SA happen in broad daylight. Seems a bit weird to scoreboard your friends being raped, but to each their own, I guess.
Strange. It's sad that you have multiple.
I mean, that is
pretty unusual.
Rape is not funny. Scoreboarding, I
got 3. How many do you have?
Right. Well, I've had friends that's been raped.
Yeah, if you have friends that have been sexually assaulted, like that's fine. Be an advocate for them. I don't associate teabagging with it, and I think those that do are wrong to do so. Like, there is no. I have never once teabagged somebody in a video game thinking like, I'm dropping my balls on them in real life right now.
No.
I am disrespecting you in the video game.
I will rub my digital nuts across your face.
And considering
every
that
time.
like all talk and all chat has been disabled in half the games, like I gotta be able to taunt you somehow. Like I don't get it. Coming from people that play the game competitively, it makes no sense.
That's what I don't understand. Like, how have you made it this far in competitive gaming, and you're just now like having this?
Like, you weren't teabagging all the either that, or it must be pretty easy to make game changers. Like the first time they played, they were good enough to get into the league.
Now you might be honest.
It's one of the two, and if we're gonna say that it's a talent thing, then that means you must have played for a while. This must have happened before. So why is it a big deal now? We're gonna get canceled for saying this. So good thing we only have like
6 episodes. It's fine.
So it's okay. But like, I don't know. Teabagging to me, there's no association whatsoever to sexual assault.
No, none. A bit
teabag
silly.
in honor of anyone that stands against that.
Yeah, I will teabag, much like taking a kneeling down on the field. I will take a teabag on someone's face for you any day of the week for justice. I guess Dawn was also upset. Here it is. She was upset because in like Riot's official press release, they used their real name in the release, and she's upset because she's saying that they was it doxed her, right? If you dox someone, so they doxed her because they released her real name. So now like people in her school or their school are texting them, and now their name's out there. Like their secret online identity has been, the jig is up.
But how are they anonymous when they're playing in a league?
I don't know. I guess because they've been.
I'm so lost. Maybe I don't understand how Game Changers operates. Maybe I need to just understand a little bit more. Like, is this an anonymous?
The way I see it is, there's apparently a streamer. You're at a level that's high enough to where Riot can suspend you. So you're obviously high enough to where
you're in Game Changers.
Yeah.
Like you're a professional player in your league, right?
You can't be a professional athlete and be like, "Hey guys, could you keep my identity private, please? Can you just not tell people who I am?" That's not how this shit works. You're a pro. You're out there. Like, to be mad at Riot for using your real name, Riot's probably like, we're not gonna put down like Fluffy Hell Kitty 69 on an official suspension letter. Like, we're just not gonna do it. So sorry. It's like when I was at DreamHack that one year, and this chick walked up to us to play this Pokemon fighting game, and she's like, "Can I get next?" And we were like, "Yeah, sure, no problem. Hey, my name's Tim, by the way." And she's like, "I'm Shadow Phoenix," and I was like, "Okay, we'll see you later." See ya, bye. Like, don't need that. So there's that. Next yikes. Like I said, we got a lot. Anuj, round of applause for you and your fellow
You know
Indians.
what? Like, the motherland is representing, and I appreciate that. Okay, Tim.
Stand up. You deserve it.
You have to stand up for what you believe in, whether that is teabagging is sexual assault or PUBG should not be banned in your country. I still appreciate those for standing up for what they think is right. And that's exactly what happened in India, Tim. 108 PUBG mobile players were arrested, not banned. Okay, so this is like next level. They were arrested in Bangladesh after they were playing a PUBG mobile tournament on LAN. And I guess it was like some sort of outdoor event or something. Dog's going crazy though. I'm guessing the delivery guy is here.
Oh, there's live action. There's a new dog is freaking out at the front door. No, I'll continue with what Anuj was saying though, as he gets his front door. So in India. Oh, is he back? Are you back, Anuj?
I'm gonna have to open the door in a second, so you can. So I'll finish this off, and I'll let you run with the next one here. So in India, again, 108 players were playing on a LAN for PUBG Mobile. Arrested, Tim. Arrested, because again, for those of you that don't know, PUBG is a banned game in India.
Banned.
I think it's a banned game in a couple of different countries now, but India in particular was really the big one because of the amount of mobile players that play PUBG. So completely banned. These guys went out, decided to do a LAN anyway. Again, I don't ever think that they would have thought those are the true consequences. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's very public over there that, hey, if you play this, we're going to arrest you.
So I think what it was is I read the article. It was more so because they didn't have permission to run the LAN party. That's what the arrests were for, were that they didn't get permissions or permits, I guess, to whatever the laws are over there, right? It wasn't so much
a sanctioned event or whatever.
Right, pretty much that's what it was.
I gotta say, here's what I'm impressed with, because the Indian police force is known to be a very lazy and easily bribed police force. Okay, like, this is not me
shout out
making any shocking statements, I don't feel, but the Indian police force is known to be pretty lax when it comes to things. How the hell at a LAN party for mobile games did all 108 people get caught? Like, I get it if you're at a DreamHack event and I got my computer there, so I'm not running away. It's not like I'm going to be like,
Right.
"Wait, leave my computer and get out of here. Forget it." Like, I would have let them arrest me, but let me take my equipment type thing. On mobile, you're like putting your phone in your pocket and taking off. This is like in Bangladesh, like they could have blended in
Take
the
one
millions
step
of people
outside and
that are like
poof,
walking around.
gone.
Like, I would have scattered like a cockroach into the group of people out there. For them to get 108 people, like, that's very impressive.
Yeah. Maybe, I'd like to think maybe they were doing the kids a favor by banning PUBG, but I do, I respect players, gotta respect players in the sense of that's pretty hardcore. To being arrested for playing PUBG, God bless them, because maybe they just don't know that there's better games out there, but pretty hardcore. And also, like I said, for us, when we were younger, if anyone was here during the live stream for our pre-show talk, when we were in high school, like, playing video games was ultimate virgin status. But nowadays, if you're in prison and like some, maybe like some prison chick is saying like, "Man, what are you in for?" Or you get out and now you're going to the bars and you're seeing all these chicks and these babes are saying like, "Oh man, where you come from?" And "Oh, I just got out of the slammer." And they're, "Oh wow, what'd you do?" "Played some PUBG. Went to a LAN party." No big deal though. That might actually work nowadays. When we were younger, not so much. But nowadays, you get those titty streamers in on you. You might be able to pull something. All right. My yikes of the week. My last yikes of the week here. Now, we've had fun. It's yikes. This show's been fun and games so far. Got to keep it real on this one.
This one wins. If there's a winner here, this one wins.
This one is bad. So GameStop announced that they are going to run out beta testing on their own NFT platform. So you can go, I think it's just GameStop NFT. If you Google it, yep, that's exactly what it brings up. And it's like any other NFT that I've seen, looks just like computer generated garbage that you're overpaying for. Well, Anuj, they had one, and as of when we did this, on Friday, Saturday, it was still up
on the
there.
Site. I mean, this was like reported by big outlets also.
Yeah.
Like, this is.
It looks like it's off the website now, but it was up there for a long time, and it was an NFT called Falling Man, and if you looked like it was an astronaut falling down, right? That's really what it looked like. However, for people of our generations, you might have looked at it and said, "Huh, this looks familiar."
I knew immediately, even though it wasn't the exact image and you sent it, I knew immediately what it was. It did not take me more than half a second.
That's what I said. People now, younger generations might not. Our generation, and even I would say like my generation might be the cutoff, right? Because I'm a little younger than you. But even I looked at it and was like, "No, this cannot be what I think it is." Anuj, it was basically a copy and paste over from the 9/11 victim, the Falling Man.
The Falling Man.
It's
Yeah,
the Falling
very
Man.
like iconic.
It's a
shot. I mean,
of a man who fell out of the World Trade Center after it got hit, and it
jumped probably.
Yeah, it jumped, ran. All those stories are terrible when you hear them, but falling from the World Trade Center upside down, very, like, when you just take a second to think about it, moving, emotional picture that just is burnt into everyone's memory from that time.
In a sad way, an iconic image from 9/11, right?
Right.
It was like just a clear visual, and to think of what someone was going through in that, like, it just represented so much looking at that image. So this was shocking.
A complete clone of that, but of an astronaut falling through space, essentially, is what the NFT was. And the NFT was called Falling Man. Like, holy shit, GameStop. And I understand and I don't even know if GameStop made a comment on it. And I'm sure it was probably like a generated thing or like a freelance artist thing. Like, I'm sure GameStop.
I'm pretty sure that's what it wasn't like a GameStop employee made this and then put it on the site. I think that you could sell your NFTs through GameStop, and it was like, the approval process is probably pretty lax. Somebody didn't notice, and like it's just the fact that it was on their site. It just looks, it's just so bad. It's so chucky. And of all things for GameStop to get shitted on for, like, to be an NFT, like the trash market
right.
that doesn't even matter anymore, for this to, be on there was pretty appalling. Like, you feel this is just disrespectful, man. You got to be better than that.
Yeah, it's I guess, yeah, here it is. It is creative, but still, it's just terrible. Absolutely. And like I said, it was on there for a good day before being taken down. So people could say what they want and be like, oh, no. Like, it was all over the internet when it popped up. So,
yeah, like Forbes was reporting on it. Like, there was like a lot of people reporting on it.
Unbelievable. Yikes. Might be yikes of the year on that one, because that one's pretty fucked up. Like, and I don't think there are certain things where I think like statute of limitations never gives up, right? Like 9/11, you'll never be able to make a 9/11 NFT. You can't make an NFT and call it Body of Corpses, and then all of a sudden it be like a 8-bit version of some concentration camp from World War II. Like that, I feel like it's just never gonna fly. So
it's like a bad. The creator that made it clearly knew what they were doing, though. So like,
of course,
it was on GameStop's.
Look, if there's one thing we've learned, it's just people on the internet are terrible people, and I'm sure someone would have spent money on it just for the memes alone.
Well, for that full segment of yikes there, that one again tops the
that
list
one. Yeah, you want to see something about you, like, don't get upset about teabagging. Get upset about that. That's what you want to get. That's what you need to spend your energy on, to get upset about. So there's that. Yikes of the week. If you have any more yikes for us, hit us up in Discord or DM us. We always love shouting them out on the show. Good dude of the week, though. Happy shout out. Zoe, Overwatch League desk host, had her baby. So obviously she's been pregnant. And
I would hope so. That'd be interesting. I guess adoption could have been an option.
Yeah. Always. But nope, she has had her baby recently. So shout out. Congratulations.
Huge congrats.
So
she is still the desk host for Overwatch 2 now?
She was obviously taking time off with the kid, but
the plan is for her to okay.
Oh yeah, cool. As far as I know, I don't think she's made a difference. And like I said, she was pretty much doing it up till the point of birth. So
yeah,
I don't think.
No, very cool. Good for her. Congratulations, and welcome to mom life.
Yeah, welcome to the club.
Yeah,
gamer parent club. And I would just like to say, Zoe, if you're listening, we have so much in common now as being parents. So if you do need someone to talk to at any moment in time, you can always slide into my DMs, and I'll be here to get you through the hard times. If you're up late at night and you just need someone to talk
to, a baby, and you're here shooting your shot.
I am being a
supportive looking through the
parent. I am being a supportive parent, offering some parently advice to another new parent.
I didn't hear you do that for Puckett a couple weeks ago.
He knows that my DMs are always open. I was just letting Zoe know if she ever needs help, that I'm here for her. All right, let's get into the VCT Masters Copenhagen, because this is wrapped up. Up next, we have the last chance qualifiers, which, if we're being honest, I think is what everyone is more excited for. I didn't hear a lot of buzz over the weekend, oddly enough. And again, maybe it's just Valorant hasn't been my thing for a little bit, so I'm just not in the right corners of the internet. But it definitely seems like this one had the least amount of hype going into it as compared to others. Am I wrong?
No, because I think a lot of the conversation has been steered away from the game and more into like the franchising and the teams that have been dropping out. I just think there's been a diversion in terms of what people are paying attention to right now. And so, yes, you're watching all these teams, but then you're also wondering, like, are these teams even going to be teams in like a few months here? So I just think there's a lot going on in Valorant right now, and it's taken away from the game itself.
Yeah, yeah, and it doesn't help that I think the teams that made it there, no knock on them. Fun Plus Phoenix, Paper Rex. Fun Plus ended up winning in the finals. Paper Rex had a awesome run, right? Especially coming from the APAC side of things, where I feel like we've been waiting for a team to kind of really come up from them because we've seen so many. Like, I would almost say like peak a little bit. Like they've always looked like they were strong, and then always kind
of all looked good until they got into international competition, right? And then they've kind of fallen short. And you've seen like the Brazilian team step up. We've seen European teams win it, Russian teams win it, American teams, and so you just haven't had that. Asian, the APAC team, like really step up
APAC historically
in the international events.
Yeah, and really this is just stretching over from not just Valorant, but like any FPS in my opinion. Like APAC is the least.
Counter-Strike is like the other prime example,
right? Like the least kind of threatening area. If you're an FPS, they're like you wouldn't even watch film on them.
Tai Lu is the running joke in Counter-Strike, right? They get that major invite every time, but then they hardly even have a chance to win a game, let alone make it out of group stage. So I think that's also part of the reason this was like the lowest viewership event for a Valorant LAN. I think part of that is because there was an APAC team involved. So like not everybody is like their fan base is not going to be paying attention necessarily at that time, depending on like what time it's live over there, and the interest from the rest of the international audience. Like you didn't have that other team be a juggernaut European fan favorite, although FPX is one of the longest like successful teams, right? There's only a handful in Valorant that you could say, oh yeah, they've been good for like a while. Like FPX has been pretty good in talks of being a good team for a decent amount of time. So they still are not a G2, a Fnatic, an Optic. Like they don't have that same type of fan base, and so I think that contributes a little bit to like the viewership numbers. But yeah, I think more so people are just distracted with what's happening in Valorant right now.
Well, it's kind of weird because you have everyone happy about the Masters, but then on the flip side, you have a lot of teams being upset. You have teams dropping out left and right. Right, like we've been seeing that now, where it seems like every day
during
there's a new
the Masters, we had announcements of teams no longer being part of Valorant. Like during the event, you could refresh your Twitter feed and be like, "Oh, Complexity dropped out today." Like it's happening every single day right now, and
which is just the nature of the beast. I mean, and obviously with the way the esports calendar works, there's not a good time for Riot. Like Riot's got to move on. They can't be like, guys, let's just wait for the Masters and then tell people.
You can't wait for a non-VCT sanctioned event to like have people make announcements, because it feels like it's one long kind
That's
of.
That's what I mean. Like there's not a good time, because like here and it's like immediately now you have people prepping for champs and last chance and
LCQ coming up, right? Now we have Shroud and Tens is like the next big headline. Don't worry though, for the lower viewership that this LAN event had, they're about to make it all back with Sentinel's first matchup.
Which, I would like to know where the viewership came from for here, because I watched a little bit of it live, and I remember seeing in like the finals there was only like 70,000 something people watching on the main stream. So I don't know about
Shroud and Tarek alone probably had another 200,000 people watching.
Right, exactly. So I understand that it's coming from other places. Esportscharts.com is saying that the finals peaked at 783,000, almost 784,000. I would like to know where that's coming from, and I would love to tell the listeners where it's coming from, Anuj, but Esports Charts literally has everything nowadays behind a paywall. Like you get peak viewers and everything else is behind a paywall. And when I say paywall,
pay the $2 or $3 that they're probably charging, right?
I wish. When I say a paywall, I mean a paywall. Like the Great Wall of China's version of a paywall. Esports Charts, and I'm not even kidding you right now, they want $30 a month.
That's like
not a year.
Actually, kind of incredible. Like it is such a ballsy move to ask. I gotta know what their sub numbers are.
This is what you get. Unlock the pro features for $30 a month. Not a year. If it was $30 a year, I was like, okay, that's like $3 a month. I'll do it. Why not? If like I was really interested in the numbers. You get languages and platform statistics by peak viewers, top 5 matches of events by language and platform, top 5 team of events by hours watched, which doesn't mean shit. I don't know why people still care about hours watched, and average viewers, tournament comparison tool, and additional Twitch and YouTube stats for events.
Top 5 is all they're giving you? Should be like top 500 or something. I mean, like, again, for $30 a month, I got it. You think they have over 100 people sub to that?
There's no way. There's not a chance, because all this stuff, they're getting this information from something else. So like if you were an org or like a company that liked this information, I assume you could also figure out how to get the information.
Yeah, I mean,
but
I would just pay an intern.
I don't want to harp on this.
An hour
this is
to
all,
like, hey, go count the number of people that are watching.
Right. Like I know this is about Copenhagen, but while I was doing research for this segment, I saw that and I was like, Netflix doesn't even charge this much.
What do you pay for that's more than $30 a month besides like your home bills?
My mortgage?
Yeah, like what's $30 a month? That is
I'm paying $30 a month. That better be something good. Membership. Like I better get some pics sent to my DM for $30 a month. Like OnlyFans isn't even that expensive, allegedly.
You could probably get 3 subs in OnlyFans for that price. That's crazy.
So
good for them. Hopefully it's working out.
Can we get a sidebar real quick? Because I'm thinking about $30 a month subscriptions now. There's more and more talks of the NFL Sunday Ticket getting away to where anyone can purchase it, and it might be going to YouTube. I've seen YouTube, Apple TV, whatever. I will pay whatever amount of money I need to pay for the NFL Sunday Ticket.
See, I've never cared for it.
You live in Dallas,
team is local,
so it doesn't count.
For me, it's all about Red Zone.
Yeah.
I pay for Red Zone already, but that's a one-time like $80 purchase or something like that.
See, and that's so worth it too.
Yeah, that I love. Red Zone is my new NFL like watching experience, except for the Cowboys game. But Sunday Ticket, I would have no use for because
you have Red Zone, right? Yeah, and your team's here. For me, I still watch the Lions game, but it's like on illegal streams, which is okay, but it's so shoddy. Sometimes they're great, sometimes the quality's not great, especially when I like stream it to my 70-inch TV.
You wouldn't have to worry about it.
I wouldn't.
You could just like
I want to invite, like if I wanted to invite you over to watch a game, in the back of my head, I'm always like, this could be a terrible experience because if this stream decides to lock up or gets banned, then I'm scrambling in the middle of it to find another. So if I can just name the price, okay? If esports charts can get $30 a month from, I just want to know who is paying $30 a month for esports charts.
What do they charge for Sunday Ticket now? Not Sunday, Sunday Ticket now.
I have no idea. I don't know because it's only for DirecTV and I don't have DirecTV, so I never bothered. For 6 episodes left, I want to find one person who pays $30 a month for esports charts, and we'll have them on the show. I want to interview that person.
And you got to show us your payment history.
Yeah, show me the pay stub. And I just want to know why. Like, what do you do to where you have so much money that you can afford $30 a month for esports charts? And B, why? Because that's insane.
There's not going to be a good reason.
No, yeah, I mean, spoiler alert, I'll still judge you. So, I judge the person who's spending $30 on esports charts. Like, that upsets me more than the person who thinks teabagging is sexual assault.
Yeah, we're not going to find one. There won't be anybody on next week's show.
It's unreal. Optic didn't make the finals. They got 3rd place, lost to
FPX.
Well, both of them. Yeah, Paper Rec sent them the losers. Fun Plus beat them in losers. They looked okay. Honestly, up to that point of losing, I thought they looked really good. For the tournament, and I thought a shoo-in for the finals. despite not winning it, they still come out on top as the most consistent team in international tournaments. So that is something to hang your hat on, I think, if you're an Optic and NA fan.
They've kind of become like a G2 to me, that where like they're a good team, not like G2 just in Valorant, like G2 in general. Like just a good team, and they can't close the damn deal. You know, like Optic Envy, whoever you want to see it as, like they've been this good for a while. Even prior to this lineup, they were like making deep runs, but they just could never like close it out. And it's kind of the same deal here, right? Like they're sure, like, yes, they're making these deep runs, they're getting there. They're the most consistent NA team, probably the most consistent team overall outside of Sentinel's run that they had forever there. Like they just can't find a way to like come out and take it all. And so I don't know. I mean, it's like, it's good. I just don't know what they hang their hat on coming out of here. It's still got to be disappointment, I would assume. Like they're not going to be feeling like, oh yeah, we made a deep run at least. I feel like it was like win or it's a failure.
Unfortunately, I feel like that's how it always is for NA teams in Valorant, just because we came out so confident, right? Now they are obviously in champs, so if you want to look at it that way as, hey, we were still consistent in international play, this was the last chance before champs on them to kind of prove themselves on that international stage. So like going in, like, yeah, you are the most consistent team for international play, but where does that get you, right? Like at the end of the day, you could be consistently top 3, but if you're the third of that top 3, like, congratulations, right? Like you kind of have to get over that hump where it's not just Optic, right? This isn't just a dogpile Optic, because again, I think they look good. For champs, I think they got to be one of the favorites going in
for sure.
It's just NA in general seems to struggle on this.
It's just finding a way to win at the end. Like they're getting there. Ye is playing at an insane level. Like he's clearly the best, one of, if not the best player in the world right now, and consistent. Like the guy is just a monster. Here's the thing. We love FNS, and you just kind of wonder, like, can they get more from a fragging department out of that position? Although he had some games where he was the carry. It's just, he's the lowest rated player again for this event for him. You know that the smarts they're very valuable in what he brings there. It's just, again, I'm just I'm spitballing out loud because I'm kind of at a loss in the sense that they keep getting there, but then they don't close it out. And it's like, why not? You have one of the best in-game leaders. You have a hard carry on the team. You have good rotational players. So it's like they just don't have a reason to not come out on top. And obviously this team should stick together clearly through champs, right? But I think if they don't find a way to win one of these big events, do you consider making the change knowing you're going to have the most peak free agent moment in Valorant history coming up here? You're going to have an opportunity, if you wanted to try and build a super team headed into Riot's franchising system. And so I kind of wonder what their mindset is right now. Like, hey, we're going to roll the dice on this roster, let them go through champs, see how they do. But if we don't win champs, do you consider making a change that might not be popular, right? I don't think replacing one of these guys is going to be a popular move.
I think to any team, not just Optic, it doesn't matter. Like you said, with teams dropping out and people getting into whatever, like Cloud9 just dropped their academy team. And that's not because Cloud9 will be a franchise team. Like there's no doubt in my mind Cloud9's being a franchise team. But still, like you can even see they're trying to trim the fat now, right, before this comes up. So yeah, you're absolutely right. Free agents will be out the ass. I think at this point, I don't care what team you are, you're picking up the phone when someone calls, because you just got to listen at this point. Like, they're going to be out there.
You gotta see at least, right?
Especially when you have guys like Sentinels.
See if you can make your team better.
Like Sentinels is throwing everything at last chance qualifiers, picking up Shroud and Zelsis, right? So they're putting everything into it. And look at the last chance qualifiers coming up here, and it's the 7th, August 7th when it is. So we'll be able to talk about it. We got time. I think that might be like one of our last weeks, but we'll be able to discuss it. So yeah, I mean, you have tons of teams in there that could possibly be, like we heard the Guard is moving on, FaZe, Cloud9, Evil Geniuses, Sentinels, 100 Thieves, all like shit. Right there, 6 teams that you could see being partnered. So that's 6 out of the 8, 10 teams that could possibly be in there. So, and those are in the last chance qualifiers. Those aren't even orgs that have qualified.
Have already made it.
So, look, it's going to get interesting. It's going to get interesting, to say the least, when it comes to this partnered league and champs. And I think a lot of people are not going to be happy. And all I got to say is we have been saying this from day one. Day one. Do you remember when Riot first came out with Valorant and they were like, we didn't make this to be an esport. We just made a good game and we want to see where this goes. And we, on the show, just like, my eyes couldn't roll any further in the back of my head when I heard that from Riot, because this has been
6 weeks later. They announced First Strike, and then we had VCT.
This has been in the books from day one.
100%. They did not make this game to not be what it's going to be, I think, and
right.
So
they made this game to be a partnered league.
I think this is just why our interest level in Valorant is where it's at.
Well, because we knew the real.
I like the game. I don't think it's a bad game. I really don't.
But we knew the real game was going to start now. This is when it starts.
My interest level to follow the esports competitive side was very minimal outside of like watching the big games, right? Like I just didn't care that much, and I still don't. Even going into champs, like I really don't care. None of this stuff in my mind goes down like in the history books. When we start talking, let's say this is a 10-year game and we start talking about past winners and all that, you're going to talk about who won the league, for the last 10 years. It's not going to be like, oh yeah, Optic won VCT champs number 3.
Right. Don't you remember they won Iceland the second time around? Like,
yeah.
I didn't know. It's like the Maple Leafs bragging about how many Stanley Cups they own, when it's like, didn't you guys like play when there was like 4 teams?
Yeah.
So
hasn't it been like 40 years since you've done something?
Don't think that counts, but hey, raises the banner nonetheless. So there you have it. Some VCT talk for you. And like I said, in a couple weeks, last chance coming up, which is what everyone's going to be watching. So I'm more excited to see the Sentinels play at this point than I was for Copenhagen. All right.
110%.
Let's knock out some e-news real quick. In CSGO, LDLC signs Amanek. I didn't know that.
I'm already like curious which French, like they're going to build a French roster here. They've always been that way. So you kind of are waiting to see, do they take some of G2's leftovers? Does NBK get into the mix? Does I
was unaware LDLC was still an org.
Yeah, no, they've consistently been there. They just haven't been overly competitive, and so there's a lot of French talent available right now. So maybe they can build something kind of fun. It'll be interesting to see what they do with, again, a lot of French free agents available.
If I were these orgs that were like hell bent on a region like LDLC, and I mean, no knock on them. If I owned a team, I'd probably want it to be all North American players. I get it. I would host events locally and just start robbing players from talent that's how you scout out talent at that point.
Like now they got MBK available. They might have like an Apex or somebody could become available. Who knows like what's happening there. So they'll be able to they got Jax as a free agent, so it'll be interesting to see what direction they decide to go there.
In Valorant news, Complexity announces that they are dropping out of Valorant, so their players are looking for a new home. So if you know anyone, give them a call. That does suck. I guess I can't be super surprised, because as much as Complexity, which I love them, I love Jason Lake, local team, As much as they want to be a big boy org, they're just not. Like they're just, for whatever reason, not. They have
you changed the logo. You haven't changed the results,
right?
You know,
they have the content creators. They've signed all these professional athletes to them. You got Jerry Jones money, but they just can't.
Financially, they're doing okay, but success in esports, that's a different story. They just have not been competitive in.
What does that sound like, Anuj? Who does that sound like? Maybe like the other team Jerry Jones owns? Financially, they've been great. Financially, they've been great.
Yeah,
but everywhere else, not so much.
I think they're doing okay. I'm sure they're happy internally with where they're at, especially with the content creators that they've been able to sign.
Yeah,
but man, esports, like, it hasn't been their thing, unfortunately.
No. So I think that probably stings a little bit because they probably think they're bigger than what they are, and they probably should be, but you're just not. Riot bans 13 Chinese players implicated in match fixing scandals.
What's going on with the American max? Like, how are the 13 Chinese banned?
Don't worry about that.
Any results on what's going on over here on the home front?
Don't worry about that. Was that funny? Like, right when Valorant first came out, like, all these match fixers, known match fixers for CS and like the Mountain Dew League switched over, and it was all talk that they were going to get nothing. Absolutely nothing.
You knew nothing was happening when they were still getting signed by teams. It was like,
no one is cashing their checks faster than those players because they never want that thing to bounce.
No.
In Call of Duty news, Desk host Veli steps down after some drama going on at the after party of New York. Apparently, he got into a drunk altercation with 2 other casters, had to get broken up by players. I might put this one on the back burner because I saw right before we went live, he went live with Attach. So he kind of gave his speech or his side of the story. So I kind of want to go and watch that.
We can come back and talk about it. There's already more information that's kind of like nameless, and all these guys.
Yeah, like, because this was at the after party. Like, this was seen by a bunch of people, and when this first broke, it seemed like he was just on some drunken rampage, and he was the asshole.
He was like asked to step down,
right?
Like, is how I.
But it also kind of seems like he was drew the short straw of like, hey, you're the new guy here and we're all kind of homies, so you got to take the blame for this. Because let's be real, we're all adults. If you're getting mad at someone because you're having a drunk altercation with them, you're not my friend.
Yeah, like Krim put a tweet out there that he saw the whole thing and he was like, it's like a little drunken argument. He's kind of, he sounded surprised that it has gone as far as it did. It's weird because like COD doesn't have. They can't afford to lose talent. They have lost a lot of great talent over the past couple of years. So I'm surprised that this is where we're at. And I'm also surprised that, like, if they asked him to resign, that he would. Because, like, I know he's a good caster, and I guess he could go back to Rainbow Six. But, like, that's also...
Or Valorant. I mean, he was in Valorant before, I think, COD, right?
Yeah, but, like, I also feel like Valorant has now like a little bit more established with who they have, and Riot started.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine. I want to know the rest of the story, so we'll follow up. I want to know what he said, so I just want to know his side. In Overwatch 2, LA Gladiators won the midseason madness. In FPS other news, Xset has dropped their Halo roster, so one of many, because teams are also getting word that they weren't accepted to the Halo partnership. So who knows what's going on with Halo. Speaking of Halo, though, we had the HCS Mexico City event. Congratulations, friend of the show, Knights, formerly the Pittsburgh Knights, ended up winning that event. So good to see there. And
unpartnered Pittsburgh Knights.
Yeah, for real. Like, the week that was announced that they weren't didn't get accepted to the partnership program was a week they won. So what a week to win.
I'm glad they did.
And in other news, not esports related, but still pretty big news. I feel like you just got to give a shout out here. Vince McMahon, I don't even know if he was the CEO, the founder,
chairman and CEO,
just you name it.
WWF and now the WWE.
Yep. is officially retiring. In air quotes, because I can't imagine he's going to be completely cut off. Like, I can't imagine he's just gonna retire.
Older now. What is he like? He's in his 70s,
Bro,
mid
but this is what
70s.
he
You know,
does.
so
he lives and breathes this.
yeah, maybe he just wants to go away on a yacht.
I'm waiting
and
for
just
like
call it a
Monday
day,
Night
you
Raw
know?
as he just drops in from the cage or something and says he's
He's
back.
like just been the face of pro wrestling for so long. So it is, yeah. I mean, he's done wrestling well though. He's put them in a good spot.
Like, say what you want. I know a lot of people don't like him, love him or hate him. He's a marketing genius. He knows how to sell a product. He's taken wrestling into what was done in abandoned warehouses, and now they sell out stadiums. So
Yep.
I've never been a wrestling guy myself. I know you and I were actually going to go because you did, and I still want to. One of these days, I want to go experience it because I'm sure I'll love it when I'm there.
It's fun. It is fun. I've only been to one like big event, and it was at the old Maverick Stadium.
Yeah, I do want to go. I've never been. I can only name even a handful of wrestlers just from when I played the games back in the day. But respect to Vince, I think esports needs someone like him to take the reins and say, guys, this is how we're doing it. This is how you take it to the next level. You can't keep doing the same. I feel like, and this is maybe for another episode, esports in general has been very uncreative with how they are progressing, in my opinion. And I feel like it's been stagnant with its growth for a while, for it being a billion-dollar industry that's going to take over the world. I just feel like we're getting caught behind developer hell and tournament organizers holding things hostage, and then developers want to do things their way, and it just all falls apart as soon as things get picked up. So I feel like we need a Vince McMahon, but that's never going to happen with the way video games and esports work. So there's that. That's my 2 cents. All right. There you have it. That's all the e-news. That's the show for today. We will be back again sometime this week because, again, we're pounding out 2 shows a week to get to 400.
Probably Wednesday again.
Wednesday, probably. I mean, it works. So, but probably Wednesday. So be by the channel. We will go live. We'll talk more esports. Maybe have a special guest on. Who knows? Maybe esports layman again, where we get a non-esports friend to come on and ask us questions. I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out. We got time. But that does it for episode 394 of the Centering Esports podcast. If you listened live, love you. If you tuned into the podcast, skipped around, love you all the same. Whether you're on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, whatever, leave a like, subscribe, do whatever. Like I said, we're still being around episode 400. We're not gone forever, so we'll still be here doing what we do. And follow us on Twitter at The Centering. Join the Discord, be a part of the chat, all that fun stuff. But until then, until Wednesday, for Nuge, I'm Tim. Love your face. We'll see ya. All right, there you have it, everyone in chat. Thank you for tuning in. Wolf, love you, as always.
As always.
As always. Canada, if you're here. I mean, I've never watched WWE, Wolf, so I mean, it could be the most basic product in forever.
I haven't watched it in 15 years, but I loved it when I did watch it.
I just know the people love it, so I think if I went to go see it live, I would just be...
It's entertaining.
Yeah, I would be captivated by their passion for it, so I would love it. But I'm going to kill the stream so I can go eat food.
I'm going to go eat too. My food is here. Wife just got home. I can hear her moving around now.
Perfect. So everyone in chat, we'll see you Wednesday. I think we'll do it Wednesday. 99% chance. So
I think Wednesday works.
Okay, cool.
All right.